Hey guys, this is Casa Corley bringing you guys some ICC 5-minute pool action. And yeah, so here goes. I guess you might have to wait a little bit, but it's not the end of the world. Um, let's see what we got. Alright. I actually learned that these flags aren't totally genuine. I thought like you could tell just where someone was from looking at the flag, but apparently that's not the case. So, alright, let's go for King's Indian. I haven't played a King's Indian in a while. I used to actually love playing against the Fian Shadow variation because it always seemed to me strange that white plays this e4 move and shuts out its own bishop. So it always seemed to me a little bit like black should be okay in these positions because black's bishop on g7 is sort of not covered by any pawns and has the full scope of the diagonal, and well, not the same for the white bishop. So yeah, now I'm playing this knight d7 move to get to d3. d3 is sort of a weak point in the white position, so black has to quickly exploit it before white sort of goes for this pawn storm on the king side. So it's really important to just to make sure you've got those bases covered. Alright, yeah, now I'm going to go very quickly for knight e5. And even if bishop f1, I'm still going to put a knight on d3 anyway, because I can always take the knight on d4. Alright, rook e3. Interesting move. What to do, what to do. I'm just going to go c6. This rook is sort of awkward on e3. I'm hoping that maybe I could take advantage of it later. Also thinking about a4 next. Now we'll start with, yeah, we'll play a4, and if b4, I might even have knight b6. But I'll play a3 first, and then knight b6. It's a really complicated position, though, so no promises for anything special. Knight takes b3, I really don't like for white, but maybe it's a good move. Huh. I'll take and go queen b6. And this e3 rook is still pinned, and I'm hitting the b3 pawn. I feel like I should have a pretty decent position here, actually, because all of white's pieces are sort of awkwardly placed, I would say. Or at least they don't make they make some sense, but they're just not well coordinated. I mean, I already don't see how the b3 pawn is defended, and this bishop on g2 is just sort of limited. So yeah, and that's a blunder because now I have this move, and maybe just rook a3. Although I don't like my position as much as I did a few moves ago, because now I actually weakened I lost my dark squared bishop in a way. I wasn't really planning on that. I missed the bishop takes g7 intermediate move. And yeah, I mean I'm winning a pawn here. Maybe I'm not even winning a pawn. It just seems like now I'm probably winning a pawn here, but my king, it looks really weak now, which is not great. But queen c1 is a blunder because I can take this rook and then if the king moves, just f6. So the game should be over. So that was a bit fortunate on my part that I was able to sort of run away with this one, but yeah, it happens. Now I'm just going to try and trade queens. I don't know why white isn't resigning. I mean, it's pretty much over. But, you know, sometimes if they don't resign, you have to make them resign. You got to make a few more really convincing moves, like rook takes e4, and then they give up. And now we're just threatening mate. So this should be resignation. Alright. Well, should have resigned. Didn't resign. Got mated. Not every day you checkmate.
Game started.
Alright, let's see what we got next. Knight f3, d5, d4. Knight f6, c4. It looks like we've almost got the beginnings of a... Oh, I was going to say a Slav if c6, but okay, we got a Queen's Gambit decline with e6. So I'm going to go for Catalan. The idea with this opening is the bishop on g2 controls the long diagonal and sets up some pretty decent ideas. a6 is not the normal move there. Normally they take on c4. I'm just going to play b3 and reinforce the pawn now that I don't have to defend it with, or I don't have to recover it with queen c2. a6 is probably just a bad move, but and h6 is, well, similarly suspect, but Ben Larson used to say, when in doubt, move a rook pawn, so maybe that's what is being applied here. c5. I think I'll take this one. Try to aim for create an isolated pawn if e takes d5. Okay, I'm pleased with that development. And then knight c3. Maybe I should take right away. No. Yeah, no, we'll play knight c3. And then take and rook c1 if allowed. And yeah, I think white is slightly better here because this weak pawn on pawn on d5 can be weak, and I don't see any particularly interesting play for the Iceland. So I'm gonna go knight a4, and then I expect knight e4 because that's a normal move. But no, knight e4 is not played. Rook e8. I sort of want to trade this this bishop on a7. It's going to be a strong piece, but just going to go e3. I wanted to go knight d4, but black could take twice and then take on e2, so why I'm playing e3 first. And bishop g4 I expected, but now I think I can just go queen d3 and basically play knight d4 next. And if knight b4 here, I have queen b1 just taking care of the a2 pawn, so I think I should be okay. Yeah, and now I quite like white, because now the more pieces we trade here, the weaker that d5 pawn looks. So rook d8, it's not such a great move. I'll just go something like knight b6 or something. Yeah, knight b6 looks pretty strong. Just holding the queenside pawns in place, and now I might go a4, a5 to lock the knight in there. And there's not really much play for black here. I mean, there's no... I don't know where the play is coming from. There's knight e4. That's a move. There might be h5 and h4, but I don't see any particular threats here, so should be fun. Queen e6. I guess the idea is bishop h3. I'm just going to go a4. I want to make sure my knight stays there, and then a5. And yeah, I think I just have a slightly better position because I control the one open file, which is the C file. My knight on b6 is pretty much entrenched in the position. And yeah, there's nothing really special going on. Okay, knight e4 threatens knight g5. So maybe that is the idea. Just when you think you've done everything correctly, there's another challenge thrown at you, but that's chess. Okay, now my light squares are looking sort of like Swiss cheese around my king. That's not good. So, what to do, what to do, what to do. I'm going to go h3. At least this pawn might cover a few of those light squares. And my idea is, yeah, if knight g4, maybe queen g4. Just trying to trade queens. It's modest, no doubt, but at least I'm not getting mated. And then check out, maybe I'll just take it. And yeah, okay, now this e4, it looks like black saw most of the problems because e4 is now not an isolated pawn anymore, but I still feel like white is slightly better here just because of the... White seems to be controlling the open files, so with the rook, so I still think white has a slight edge in this ending. And I love to work with slight edges. So, knight e6, that makes some sense. Maybe trying to take and play rook da.
Draw offered.
I don't take draws, so no thank you. I'll just play b4. Especially in Blitz, it's weird to offer a draw in Blitz. Like, where's your fighting spirit? Seriously. Like, why are you playing this game if you're offering draws in Blitz? I just never understood that. But, well, to each their own. g5, I'm going to go g4, lock in that pawn structure. Okay, king g7. And I just go reroute my king to e2. See, the problem is if you trade rooks, if black trades rooks on d1, white controls the c8 square with the knight. So f5, is that such a scary move? Maybe it is. I'm gonna take it. This king f5 got active all of a sudden, but maybe it can be weak. I don't know. You know, knight c4, just threaten that check. Sort of an obvious threat, and I'm getting a little bit low on time here, so I'm going to stop talking as much as I have been and just try and win the game, because the winning is important to me. Yeah, but I think I have 96 check is a serious threat. Even if rook d8, I still go knight d6 check and I win the e4 pawn because king e5 is impossible because knight f7 check, forking the king and rook. And really nothing special here for white, but white is the one that's playing for the win here. No doubt about it. And this is why it's taking a little while. So I'm going to go rook d6. Now it's time to attack the b7 pawn. We gotta ask some questions. I maybe should have just gone rook d7 right away. That was maybe a little bit stupid of me, just to sort of dilly-dally with the threat. I don't think the check does anything to me. I can go back to g2. And the problem is 96 has no useful squares, which is nice. So the knight is dominated. It cannot go forward right now. Rook c7 is possible, but I'll just go rook d6. Nope, you cannot have that pawn. Oh, and that's free. And I like free stuff, so thank you very much. And now black checkmated himself, so that's nice. So, that was a smooth first game. Never offer draws in Blitz unless you're just totally, it's totally equal and nothing to do. I mean, I'm just not a huge fan of draw offers in Blitz. It's sort of, unless you're trying to claim a repetition or something, it's just sort of stupid. Like, why are you playing Blitz? Like, we're not playing with ratings that matter that much.
Started.
So, I mean, why would you offer a draw? Just very confusing to me. So, I'm not in the mood for anything sharp, so I was just gonna play this passive E3 stuff, and now it's sort of transformed into, one could say, a exchange Caro-Kann, actually, almost like a reversed Queen's Gambit structure. Black is, of course, totally fine, but so is white, so. I'm going to put my queen on f1. It's sort of a weird move to make, but my idea is that I hold the b5 pawn in place for a little bit, and I quite like that because I don't really want to allow this minority attack. So, but now it's probably going to come anyway. So yeah, now it's coming anyway. So that's not what I really wanted to see, but it's not the end of the world either. So. I must say I don't love my position because this minority attack came. I thought I was preventing it. I didn't prevent it at all. So that's really bad news because when this minority attack comes, I'm supposed to have more activity or more play than I have right now. So black is probably slightly better. Oh, great. Now I blunder the c3 pawn. Sloppy. Sloppy, 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 sloppy. Maybe I have some... Okay. This is just bad position all around. Really bad position. Maybe I might have some small chance with the pin, but this one is going nowhere fast. I'm just trying to drum up something, anything in this really, really bad position. Hoping for some tricks. But the problem is tricks are for kids, right? That's what they say. Tricks are for kids, so I'm not being allowed any good tricks. Yeah, this is... I just blundered again. I'm going to resign. Well, it's rare to see me just resign, but just an ugly position. Look at this final position. My knights are disgusting. I'm just down a pawn. My pawn structure is really bad. I have this weak d4 pawn. All black's pieces are just all up in my camp, so not good. But, you know, you make some mistakes, especially when you're commentating, no doubt. Some of you guys might be wondering, dude, why is your rating right now on the 5-minute pool 22.7? Why is it 2270? Well, it's because I've actually been playing a lot of blindfold Blitz. I'll be bringing that out, doing some blindfold Blitz soon enough. So I've actually been doing a little bit of practice first, that when I have the videos, I'm actually not losing every single game, because
Game started.
you know, then what's impressive about that? So so that's why I'm sort of low at the moment, because I don't really care too much about the rating on this server, but it's just to get some good practice, get some good games. So, okay, this guy is not playing. I don't know, maybe didn't see the game started. Hopefully, it's just not totally. Hopefully, the time just doesn't run out completely, because then I'll just be flagged. But I guess in the meantime, I'll tell you about what I've been up to. I was in Iceland. I played a league there. It was really a lot of fun. I got to go up in the mountains a little bit outside the city in Reykjavik, and I actually went to Bobby Fischer's grave, which was really interesting. Not because the grave there was anything particularly special about it, but a lot of people forget that, you know, he was buried and lived the remaining years of his life, the last 3 or 4 years, in Iceland. So, and he was well received there. He was granted citizenship. He had a real interesting time there. So a lot of the Icelandic chess community was quite nice about Fischer, and treated him really well in his last years of his life. I also saw Pawn Sacrifice, this movie with I think Tobey Maguire is the lead role. He's the Fischer, and many people are saying, "Oh, it wasn't that good. It wasn't that accurate. It didn't really depict what chess is really all about, or didn't accurately depict Fischer." But you know, that's Hollywood. At the end of the day, you're going to get some things that are just not going to be done the right way. Okay, disconnection, so we'll get a new game. But I actually thought Pawn Sacrifice was really good. I think it really encapsulates certain aspects of chess that, you know, are good and positive for the general public to see. I thought just the tension during the match
Game
was
started.
pretty evident. I thought that the way, you know, sort of the patriotic aspect of Fischer Spassky was pretty much on display. And those things were all really critical aspects of, you know, that era. So maybe I'll talk more about the film at a later point, but I thought it was a pretty solid movie. In the meantime, I've got a Pirc on my hands. I don't play this very often at all, and probably for good reason, but I think my position should be okay here, because normally you don't want to rush with e5. So, because I have this knight g4 idea, and you can't really defend e5 effectively, or at least that's what I thought was the case. But as usual, I'm probably just wrong. So, because now it seems that e5 is being defended perfectly adequately, so I got it wrong. And because I got it wrong, we gotta sort of experiment a little bit. And I'm gonna play bishop e6, because that light square bishop on c4 was the strongest piece that black had. So or white had. So I sort of wanted to get rid of it. But the question is, at what cost did I get rid of it? Because now my e6 pawn is really weak. My whole position is very weak. Yeah. Yeah, my whole position is really bad. Bishop e6 was a bad move. I'm going to go knight a6 and pray, because this is really, really something bad. The problem is now rook d7 is a serious move. And I'm going to sack the exchange because rook d7 should have been played right away. At least here I might have some chances of doing something. I don't know, something meaningful with my life. With this position. Because, well, if rook d7 played, I had absolutely nothing to do. Okay. Maybe these two sets of double pawns give me some play. I put a knight on c5. Maybe I can try to defend this. I mean, it's completely lost, but maybe I can say, I can pretend that I have some compensation for the exchange. But I probably don't have any compensation for the exchange. Yeah, I don't have any compensation for the exchange, but we're gonna play on, and Fischer's fighting spirit. We're gonna fight on. Yeah, it's completely evident I have no compensation whatsoever for the exchange. So that is really bad news. But you know, bad news hasn't really. You know, things could be worse. I could be down a whole rook instead of just the exchange. You know, I could, I don't know, I could be down a rook and a knight. I could be getting checkmated next move, which is not going to happen, so we'll keep going. Keep going. It's always tricky in a blitz with knights because you can fork, you know, unsuspecting forks at some point. So that's when my knight is aiming for these squares where it might be just might trip up and get a fork, you know. So but it's still just a bad endgame. But I don't know, might have some knight h4 ideas right now coming up on deck. I should have played knight h4 last move, though, before I move my king up, because now rook b4 check just stops all the counterplay that exists. So, my bad. But I have the audacity to threaten mate in 1 here, so. Even though I certainly it shouldn't be something that I deserve to threaten. But now, if I get my rook behind the pawn, I at least keep the game going a little bit longer than it should. But now I'm losing my rook, so, or my knight, so now I'm down a rook. And really, I shouldn't be playing on in this position, but I'll make a few moves. Just a few. Because you never know in Blitz, you never know where the mistakes will come, or when they will come. So, if Rook F8 check, I'll resign. No, Rook F8 check was not played. And this is why I'm going to keep playing, because now I have this annoying pawns. Maybe, I mean, I'm still just a rook down, but, I mean, the technique here has been less than stellar. I mean, that'd be an understatement. I mean, it's been horrible. So, I'm going to try, you know. Up, I just blundered a pawn. That's not good. Yeah, I'm a rook down. Let's play better. Let's get something better than that. That was a bad one.
Game started.
Alright, let's play g3. This guy looks sort of strong, 2400. So I'm going to play a little bit fast. This is the King's Indian attack, sort of. But I'm not going to play d3 and e4. I'm going to go c4, which is has this, and queen b3, which just has this idea of just, you know, having just sort of, you know, putting a little bit of pressure on the center before black is castled, because black is slightly underdeveloped. So knight c3, d3. This is not a great position either, but I'm going to try rook a4, which has this strange idea of playing something like knight e5 or something like that. Just exploiting this long pin on the long diagonal with the knight and the two bishops are on the same fourth rank. So yeah, that's what I was aiming for. Now I have the two bishops, the bishop pair, which is always nice. And I think I ruined my pawn structure, my b pawns, but now I should be doing decently well, because the two bishops really are important asset. So I'm gonna go bishop g5. And rook a4. Maybe rook f4. Rook a4, rook f4. And rook a4. And then maybe I can play rook e1, just protecting the e2 pawn. This is one of those handle with care positions, because I'm trying to play with this two bishop pair, the bishop pair advantage, but it's really hard to really materialize that, and I have these weak b pawns, which, you know, just aren't good. So I really have to take care here. But b5 I like. I like taking some space and stopping this knight from coming to d4, which I thought should have been played before. And yeah, the knight moves to a5, but maybe that's not the end of the world. I'm going to go g4, and then h4. And if just starting to trap the g6 bishop. Of course, black saw that and is now moving in to take advantage of my weaknesses, which are glaring. So I'm going to go h5. Oh. I'm blundering a lot today. That was bad. How I can blunder the rook like that is not very good. We have to try again. We cannot keep blundering. This is I can't keep blundering. So that's not good. I thought I had a decent position though. Had the two bishops, had everything I, usually like to have. Of course the pawn structure could have been a little bit better, but we're gonna just go for the kill this game. I'm gonna go for some craziness. Some King's Indian. Let's see. Let's go for the kill. Yeah, they h5, g4. This is crazy stuff. This is don't try this at home type of stuff. The King's Indian. Black is just attacking on the king side flank. I'm just shoving my pawns at the king. I'm definitely doing horribly on the queen side, but that's the price you pay for playing the King's Indian. You attack on the king side with reckless abandon and the hopes that you'll break through on the other flank. And it appears that I might be breaking through on the other flank. e4 pawn is hanging. So I'm going to go knight takes e4. And then g takes h2. And if king h1, just knight g3 check. So, and then queen... I can't go... Can I go queen somewhere? This is really a lot better for me, but if I was a better tactician, I'd be able to just checkmate. But I'm not. So I'm just going to go queen e8. Knight c7, queen g6. I'm just giving up the rook. I do not care about the rook. I'm trying to checkmate. Take my rook, please. I don't care. But I don't see checkmate either, which is a little bit disturbing for a player of my strength, not to see any mates. But king f7 looks like it continues the attack, so we'll try that. King f7 with the idea of rook h8 check. I'm going to go rook h8 anyway. Where's the checkmate? I gave up a whole rook for this, and I don't see any mate. That's a bad sign. Bishop d3, bishop f5. Still, I don't see a checkmate. Where is it? Where is it? Let me queen g3 next. Queen h6 next. I don't know. The problem is, it looks like the king can run a little bit. Because, yeah, the knight is going to get taken like it did, and then I don't see any mate still. Uh-oh. I still don't see a mate. Well, we gotta go for it. I'm gonna go for it. Even though I don't see a mate, maybe there's something. Queen g3. Alright, so check. What's my next move? Maybe bishop f6. I still don't see a mate. Smart. This king's just running away. And I don't know if I can do anything about it. I think go knight f5. I gotta find some way to just attack here, but it's hard for me. It's so hard. Alright, so I have some ideas. I have maybe knight g3, maybe knight e3. Not knight e3. Alright, bishop there. Okay, now I'm gonna go rook c8 maybe. Maybe bishop d8. And rook c8. That's lucky. Rook h3 actually just trapped my queen, so I don't have any mating ideas here. I'm just down a rook for nothing really. We'll definitely have to look back and see how I could have won easier, because I'm sort of just missing everything today. Queen a4, strong move, trying to just finish me. I'm gonna pretend that there's no... Alright, maybe I can go knight e7, just to stop that idea. But it's the attack. There was no attack. I have not attacked at all this game, so something went really wrong. But I'm up 40 seconds, so maybe there's something here. I can take advantage of the time, or I don't know, something. Something. 94 is a strange move to me. Very strange. At least now I get a check on b1, if allowed. Still, my position will not have any takers after this game. I may or may not flag here, but I may or may not flag my opponent here, but it's not a deserved win. Okay, so I'll take this one. Then I'll check there. And then maybe knight. I just take this one. Oh no, and I'm still gonna lose this. Oh man, what a disaster. What a disaster. It's going to be a draw because I
drawn.
don't have any more pieces, but I ran out of time. But horrible execution there. I'm just going to look back here. So I had this attack drummed up. Alright, so I should have just taken the e4 pawn when it was available. So that was... okay, I went g3. I got a little bit too excited. Alright, g3 is the best move. Okay, that's what I thought, because usually you want to open up this... the kingside pawns. I thought this was smart, and then I took this pawn, bishop b6. I took this pawn, that's right, king takes. I did this, knight c7, I did that. Okay, and this is why I messed up. Queen h6 check. The king moves, and then knight g3. Okay, and yeah, that's the trick. Is I'm going to h1. At the appropriate time. I don't even have to check right away. I'm probably going to play e4 or f3 just to open up the position further before I give this check, and it should probably be checkmate. Alright, that one's on me. Well, it's always on me. That's the thing about chess. It's always on yourself. But I need to work on my tactics because that should sort of just be automatic. But it's not. So that's a problem. So let's give it one more game, one more for the road, and to call it a night. What was I saying? Oh yeah, I was talking about a little while back about being in Iceland. Fun time. The things you definitely have to go do when you're in Iceland. You got to go visit the geyser or the geyser. I don't know how you pronounce it, but they have these geysers that are, or these geysers that are 80 to 100 degrees centigrade. So
Game started.
It's pretty crazy. And you know, there's also the Aurora Borealis, or the Northern Lights, as most people know them. There's also the Blue Lagoon, which is beautiful. So a lot of stuff to do there. So go to Iceland. That's my my advice. Sort of like a Queen's Gambit accepted reversed. I just sort of want to get a position and not have serious problems. But at least opening problems, rather. Nothing too sharp, something sort of positional, where I can sort of grind, do my grind. And I like my position. There's I have a little bit of pressure on the d5 pawn. My bishops are sort of active. Well, my bishop on f1 will be active soon. And yeah, there's no real complaints. Now I'm going to play against the isolated pawn on d5 and get castled, and yeah, I have some activity. I have some play. I got to get my rooks to the open squares, or the open files. So rook c1 is good enough. I also want knight a4. Maybe go to c5 with my knight. Maybe b6. Knight e4. Okay. Interesting. Knight a4 might not have been the best move, but that's okay. We have to justify it with knight c5. The problem with knight a4 is it allowed knight e4. I probably should have moved my queen to c2, but yeah, I was a little bit too excited about putting my knight on c5. Normally, these squares, when you're playing these queen pawn openings, the squares c4 and c5 are hotly contested squares because they're jumping points for knights, or and they sometimes get controlled by pawns, and it's really important just to sort of battle for those squares, but I sort of did it in an incorrect way. But not the end of the world. So I'm gonna go knight d4. Get rid of some of the congestion on the with this pin, and I'm gonna try and argue that this d5 pawn is isolated and weak. So that's why I'm trying to trade some pieces to prove that, but it might just not be true. It probably isn't true, but I can at least try to play in that way. And now I think I've succeeded. I've gotten almost the maximum out of what I can hope for, because now knight takes d4 was sort of what I was looking for. Now this bishop on d4 is pretty strong, and all my pieces looking pretty decent. I'm gonna go queen b2 to pressure the g7 pawn, and to eye the queen side. Yeah, it's fair enough. And yeah, maybe rook c2, sort of protect the c pawn multiple times because it's going to be attacked multiple times. Not bad, not a bad position to have, because I have this pressure. So queen a4 I don't like because it sort of moved away from protecting the b7 pawn, but maybe there's some smart justification. I'm going to play g3 just to give my king an escape square in case of back rank mates. But I think white should have a very, very tiny edge here because of the pawn structure, but maybe it's not true. Okay, rook c7. Not really what I was worried about, but again, maybe it's something I'm not seeing. I'm just going to go rook. I'm going to go h4. I just want to wait and see what exactly black is trying to do. Because I don't know. And that's always tricky when you don't know what the plans are, but queen a2 is also an option there, hitting the d5 pawn, but I think I have a lot of options. Alright, queen b5. Interesting. I'm gonna go queen a2 or queen a1. I'm gonna go queen a1. Ignore that. I really just want to bear down on this g7 pawn, so I'm not trying to get greedy just yet. b6, interesting. Maybe just strong. Yeah, there's this annoying pin on my pawn. That's not good. No, a4. Queen a5. That might be a mistake. Or it's a really strong move, because I thought queen d7 was a lot better. Because now I have c6 and my pawn is protected. I have no idea why queen a5 was played. It's very strange. b5. I'll take. We'll trade queens, and then I'll play rook a6. I'm in a very strange game. A lot of topsy-turvy turns. Okay, just no, you do not want to trade. But what if I try to trap your queen? smart. Really smart. Yeah, I missed this one. That's a really great move. I can't take the queen because my own queen is hanging. I missed that one. I'm missing a lot today. Alright, so now I'm down a pawn, and I have to fight for a draw, which I'll probably get because, at least because it's down on time, but not a very impressive game. Now I'm even slightly better because my pawn structure is better. And that's a blundered rook. Alright, so ended on a win, but not a very impressive day. Pretty modest day. And I just want to point out in this game, in this position, I was so excited to play knight a4 because I wanted to get my knight to c5. But knight a4 probably not a good move because then the knight comes to e4, and that's sort of the thing where you move a piece away. You move a piece away from a square, and it's not defending squares it previously was. So I probably had some more useful waiting move actually. In fact, knight d4 even looks appealing, just blockading the pawn. So I'm curious what the engine says. Yeah. Oh wow, it says knight a4 is a good move. But okay, so maybe I played it decently enough, but sometimes you still want to be sort of cautious, and you know, knight d4 also is a decent shot. So, all right, till next time.